Hey, I'm Laura, and these are the 12 basic life skills every kid should know how to do. As parents, we protect our kids with the best of intentions, but it's almost to the point of never letting them feel disappointment or sadness. We do anything to keep them safe and from hurting themselves, which seems like it could possibly be a daily occurrence in my house. I know the feeling of wanting to keep my boys in a protective bubble. We tend to overparent, trying to make them into perfect human beings, but this all can have the opposite effect on our kids, and it makes them not ready to face the world as adults. We deprive them of the chance to learn to manage their reactions. We deprive them to learn coping mechanisms and even prevent them from learning even the most basic of skills. One day, they're going to find themselves in the real world where nobody's helping them out on every turn and nobody really cares about them, and they're going to have to manage on their own. I know it's sad and depressing to think that, but it's true. And if mommy has been tending to every little need, they're going to find themselves unable to handle it. These are the 12 basic life skills every kid should have. Number 1. To be a self-starter. And this begins with getting up on their own. A child entering high school should be able to wake themselves up, brush their teeth, and get dressed in clean clothes without you having to guide them along every step of the way. If you are your teenager's alarm clock, you are sending the message that you will always be there to wake them, have their food ready for them, and get them to wherever they need to be on time. Many young adults, and I've coached quite a few, have no concept of being accountable for time. If they were late for our call, oh well, if they wasted my time, oops. Like a million excuses as to why. It's one of the first things that I address with clients because I do not tolerate that. Which brings me to number 2. Kids should be able to manage time. Employers today complain about recent graduates entering into the workforce and not even being able to handle the smallest task without step-by-step instructions. Many of these graduates grew up in households where parents kept them on a schedule and hovered over every task. Let's face it, there are many adults who could still learn a thing or two about time management. But the more kids understand how to manage their time before going off to school or going off on their own, the more successful they're going to be. And while parent involvement is certainly beneficial to some extent, letting kids experience a little bit of independence and especially let them figure out a few things on their own will be a huge long-term benefit. Number 3, every kid should know how to make a meal, and yes, spaghetti counts. Teach them how to boil an egg. Show them how to use the oven. Teaching kids how to cook often means setting them up for a healthier diet in the future, means for them to be making food at home rather than going through the drive-thru twice a day, saving money, and eating healthier. And while kids are at it, they should also learn how to make a list and go food shopping to get the things that they want to cook. And while they're eating what they cooked, they should learn the proper table manners to go along with that. Number 4, every kid should learn how to pump gas. I was pumping gas into my car the other day when my 15-year-old sat in the passenger seat playing Fortnite when it dawned on me, what the hell? He should be pumping this gas. He's going to be learning to drive soon. And the mistake of putting diesel into his engine will not be one he wants to have to pay off on his own. Plus, it's teaching chivalry at the same time. And yes, I still believe in chivalry. Number 5, kids should all be their own advocates. You've heard stories about parents calling college professors complain about grades, right? That is not okay. After junior high, if you're the parent that's constantly emailing the teacher, you are teaching your kid that they are not capable enough to handle any issue themselves. Number 6, kids should know how to pack their own bag. A book bag, an overnight bag, a vacation bag. We're always putting stuff into their backpacks. Oh, don't want you to forget your homework. Here's your lunch. Here's your field trip money. Here's a note for your teacher. And then guess what? The backpack becomes a briefcase one day. And they haven't learned the skill of being responsible for their own stuff, remembering what they need every day just to get by. They will be that person that's constantly forgetting things. Even packing for a trip should be a life skill that a child should be comfortable with by the time they enter high school. If you don't trust them enough to pick out the clothing for an event or a party or something that you're going to while you're on vacation, at least have them make the list of the things that they need to go away with. Like their underwear, for example. And speaking of underwear, number 7 is teach kids how to do their own laundry. I told my kids last year to put their wet bathing suits into the washer, and I go down later and find them in the dryer. Red flag. Do you know what the washer is, boys? I could do laundry in my sleep, but it wasn't always that way. I ruined many a white shirt by putting something red in with it. Save your kids the trouble of that happening. Instead, show them the ropes. Watch them do it themselves, and once you are sure that they got it and understand, let them handle their laundry on their own. Number 8, teach kids how to order off the menu themselves. Sounds pretty basic, right? But you probably sit in a restaurant with your kids, talk to them about what they're going to eat, and then when the waiter comes over or the waitress comes over, you order for them. Have them get comfortable with ordering their own food. Number 9, want to do one thing that will literally make or break your kid's success as an adult? Teach them about money. Once your child is old enough to earn an allowance, they're old enough to begin picking up financial skills and managing money. This is a great time to teach them about wants and needs and to comparison shop when you're at a store or shopping online together. They can start learning about building credit, handling debt, investing for future goals. Just as a side note, I don't believe in allowance. I've never given my children allowance. I don't think kids should be paid for helping me out around the house. I do believe in rewards though, so if you really want something badly enough, then you're going to have to figure out how to go above and beyond in order to earn it. Number 10, every kid should know how to talk to a stranger. I know, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers. That's the lesson that we've always taught our children, but the truth is they need to learn how to talk to strangers. You encounter strangers every day of your life. Our children are living in a world of silent communication, us too really. Complete conversations take place over text and social media. So it's up to us to verbally engage with our kids. Personal communication skills are lacking in so many children these days. Try to get one to look at you in the eye when they speak. It's almost impossible. Teaching them to communicate face to face, and I don't mean FaceTime, will go a long way. Out in the world on their own, our kids will encounter so many different types of people on a daily basis, and they need to know how to clearly communicate with them. But if kids have never been encouraged to speak to strangers on their own, and if parents have always spoken for them, kids' communication skills are going to be compromised. Number 11, this is a big one, how to handle disappointment. I know, failure is tough. And seeing your kids fail, I hate it. But as difficult it is to sit on the sidelines and see our kids make a mistake, failure is full of big lessons. And kids who never had to deal with failures find themselves unable to cope as adults, like when a relationship fails or work project doesn't go the way it's supposed to be. Listen, you don't make the cheerleading squad? Too bad. If you want it so hard, practice more. You got cut from the basketball team? Well, maybe you aren't cut out for basketball. What you don't want to do is create a world where everyone makes the cheerleading squad. And you know what I'm talking about. You must have heard this in the news along with me. This is like unreal. But all the swooping in and fixing whatever injustice you feel is committed against your child creates socially handicapped children that have no clue how to get through life without an adult there to guide them or come in and save them. Number 12, lastly, really important, show up and work hard. Teach your kids that ethic. While showing up is the first step to reaching a goal, children must learn the importance of putting in the work to actually achieve the goal. Remember that unearned rewards set children up to expect a win for just about anything, resulting in entitlement. This everyone gets a trophy generation has got to stop. Congratulations, you came in 26th place. Yay, here's your trophy. This is not how the world works. You ever see that in the Olympics? No. 1, 2, 3. If you don't place there, you aren't getting a ribbon. What about the World Series? American Idol? No, you are booted off and forgotten about if you didn't place in the top 1 or 2. And that very lesson makes those that are truly driven work even harder. That's it. Thanks for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button so you're always with me and always getting new video alerts. And let me know what you thought about this video, what you think about my top 12 life skills that every kid should know. And I want to hear what you think every kid should know too. So please drop me a line, let me know, and I will see you soon. Bye.